Hey girl, it's Coach B. Wiley. So one of my followers on YouTube asked me what are 3 questions that I think that each party should ask the other party when dating before they even go out on the first date. Now, I thought about you because you're single, you're dating, you're learning. I think one of the questions should be, A, are you single? And some of y'all might be like, oh, well, of course they're single. Of course not. Absolutely not. The thing is, a lot of us don't even ask the person, are they single? Specifically when that dude is coming up to you, he's introducing himself. It might slip your mind to ask him if he's single. And then a lot of women, humans, but specifically women that I'm talking to today, you will assume. And I don't want you to assume anything, ever. I always say never assume, because what does that make you? ASS, right? And you're not. You're smart. So when you first meet him, you get on the phone with him, you ask him, is he single? Me personally, before I even exchange numbers with the dude, I'd want to know that literally up front as soon as possible. So you want to find out if he's single. And then when you're asking him this question, a follow-up question to that should be, how long have you been single? They could have just broke up that morning. They could have been together 15 years and just broke up last week. So you want to know how long he's been single and when they broke up. So that's 3 questions all under the umbrella of one question. Are you single? How long? How long were y'all together? Then I believe another question was, and this is dependent on where you are in life. The young lady that asked me to ask you this question or make a video about it, it was dealing with family, because she saw it on Mark and Kelly, the Mark and Kelly show, Good Live with Mark and Kelly. And one of the questions that they recommended asking before a first date is if you want a family. Now, if you're 20, in your 20s, dating, and you're actually just getting to know yourself, figure out what you want, I don't necessarily think you should ask that question. If you want to, and you know you're serious, and you come from a big family, and you know you want to be married immediately, and that is your intent, okay. You want to know. However, if you're in your 40s, I'm in my 40s, and or mid to late 30s, and you know you ain't got no kids, and you want children, sure, you can ask the dude, hey, have you ever thought about having kids? And when you're asking these questions, because some people will think, and you're probably watching me right now, like, why would I be asking that kind of question? I don't know this dude. The only kind of people this applies to is the ones that are dating with the intent to be in a partnership, aka a marriage, and they're serious. There are a lot of people out here dating just to be doing something. This doesn't apply to the people who are dating just to be doing something, just to be because they don't want to sit at home on a Friday night, just because they bored. No, I'm talking to the serious people. And when you're serious, you don't want to play no games. You're not utilizing your time to play no games. You're not letting a dude come in to play any games and waste your time. So you want to know if he wants children. Woman that's watching this, women, if you know you want a child, it is okay to ask that question. Don't be afraid to ask these kinds of questions. And then a third question you want to ask, me personally, I believe in God. That don't mean you watching this, you believe in God, and you don't have to believe in God. However, if religion and or spirituality is important to you, then you definitely want to see where they're at. Because if they believe in the devil, or they don't believe in nothing, but you pray every day, you're a Christian, you're trying to live your life right, I ain't saying you out here like putting holy water on people and slapping and rebuking the devil out of folk. I'm just saying, if you know you believe in God and you try your best to live your life right, and you go to church and you pray and things like that, and you want someone that's equally yoked, then you want to make sure they don't believe in the devil. You want to make sure they don't worship the tree. You want to make sure that they're not an atheist, because that's what you want. And on the flip side, if you know you don't believe in God, and then that person is heavily in the church, you want to go ahead and get that out of the way. The thing is, when we're dating, ladies, is we do a lot of time wasting because we're scared of what's on the other side of the questions that we have. So therefore, we suppress our questions and we just go along to get along. And then when things blow up in our faces, we're looking like, well, what the F happened? All men are dogs. Oh, I thought this, I thought that. Well, you don't need to think nothing. You need to ask direct questions. Specifically, if you know your intent is to be in a long-term committed relationship. I always tell you guys other questions that you should ask then when you're on the date. That's Have you ever been rejected? What happened when the last time you was rejected? Because you want to check his psyche. You want to catch him off guard with that kind of question. And you too should be asked that question. How did you take rejection? Any question that you're asking him, you need to be ready to answer. And if you know that you just got out of a relationship that lasted 6 years and y'all just broke up this morning, you have no business out here in the street because you're a red flag. Because that don't even make any sense for you to be out on the dating scene and y'all just broke up this morning, y'all were together 6 years. So when we're talking about questions to ask before you even go on a first date, you want to find out if he's single, do that. And then after that, you want to find out if he wants any children, do that. And then the third thing, what did I just say the third thing? Because it came off the top of my head, religion. And I also say other questions, and I've talked about that on my TikTok as well as YouTube, that you want to ask. The thing is, if you're serious, like I know that you are because you keep wondering why you're single, there will be no more wondering if you ask the questions that matter. Me and one of my old coworkers, we call it the tough questions. And a lot of women don't want to ask the tough questions even before they start dating. So if you're unwilling and you don't have the strength or the, what am I looking for here, the word, or if you're incapable of fixing your face to ask him the tough questions before you even go on a first date, what are you going to do when you're in a relationship with him? What are you going to do when you're married to him? You're going to be living in fear because you don't want to ask a question. That's crazy. How it starts is how it shall be. So if you're going into a dating situation and you're scared of asking him these simple, direct questions out of fear that it's going to run him off, out of fear that he won't like you, then that's a bigger problem. So when you're going into dating, it should be fun. But what should not happen is you signing up to waste your own time. So if you're with me on this and you're ready to stop wasting your own time, then you'll let me know in the comments that you're ready to ask the tough questions. And like I said, this was a video request from one of my subscribers on YouTube. She wanted me to ask me what I think some questions are. Another thing is, I done a video a long time ago. It's called non-negotiables. And what I mean by that is if you know that you have your own place, no children, you're financially straight, you take care of yourself, you doing you, then why would you be entertaining a dude who works a part-time job, who has multiple children, and who's barely making it, and who needs a ride, and who has a roommate? Does that make sense? It doesn't. But if you're depressed, not depressed, but if you're desperate, and if you're sick of being single, and if you're lonely, you could fall back on that depression, and then you will start entertaining dudes you shouldn't even be batting an eyelash at. So sometimes you got to check in with yourself and say, self, this is what I got going on, and what he got going on, the math ain't mathing. So I need to back up off this. I don't care how good he look. I need to back up off this. I don't care how much charm he got. I need to back up off this because I know I need to be equally yoked with who God in the universe has for me. And there's no way I should be settling for no dude, any dude, just to have a dude. So tell me who's ready in the comments to stop settling, A, to start asking the tough questions, B, and to actually begin attracting quality men who too are dating with the intent to be in a marriage and or a long-term committed relationship with you. Let me know in the comments. Talk to you later.